Welcome to this week's edition of The Weekly What's Up. I'm Jacob Clore.
And I'm Tori Nagel, and these are your awkward moments.
Game shows, they are usually pretty fun and lighthearted. I even want to be a game show host one day, so my fun personality, game show host. Do you guys see it? Well, hopefully.
I see it.
We'll see if that comes true. But with a game and television mixed together, awkwardness is bound to ensue.
Here are some awkward game show moments that we found for you to enjoy and just bask in the awkwardness.
Bask in it. When it comes to world geography, some people are better at pointing out cities and countries than others. Case in point here, when a pair of Wheel of Fortune contestants aren't quite sure where they are going when they want a trip on the show. Take a look here.
And just read it.
Gondola ride through Venice.
Yeah. Let's check your geography knowledge. What country do you think we're sending you to?
Paris. France.
Do we still get it?
Apparently you know your husband well. Yeah, we're sending you to Italy.
This was just painful for me. Like, if I was that guy's girlfriend or wife or whatever, I would be so incredibly embarrassed.
Yeah.
I would probably never let him live it down. I'd always be like, oh, like, where are we going to go for our anniversary trip? Oh, are we going to Paris or are we going to Venice?
Yeah.
Like, where is that? Yeah.
Well, it's funny because of all the places in Europe I've wanted to go, Venice has always been towards the top of the list. So, I mean, I know where it is, but I just think it's funny how Pat's like, what country are you going to? And the guy's like, Paris. Like Paris is its own country inside of France. And it always seems to happen on Wheel of Fortune, too. Like, you see these like just kind of like awkward encounters between Pat Sajak and the contestants, and he just must be so tired of these people who are just messing up on his show.
If I was Pat, I think I would enjoy it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think I would look forward to all the weird things that would happen because I feel like it would probably get a little repetitive sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when they spin the wheel and you just hear him, he's just like 600. Like, you can tell he's like dying a little on the inside.
Yeah, 600. Oh, you land on the 2500? How awesome.
One of my absolute favorite game shows is Jeopardy! The show has been airing since 1964, and I grew up watching it with my grandmother. For those of you who may not know, Jeopardy! Is a game where 3 contestants earn money for every question they answer correctly. Jeopardy! Is as classic of a game show as it gets, but what happens when there's only one contestant? Awkwardness.
And bad news for Brad and Stephanie. This was not one of our greatest days. Both of you figuring in the red. And at the end of Double Jeopardy, that means you're not around to play in Final Jeopardy, so it's you all by yourself, Chris. I think you're going to win the game. It all depends how you handle this Final Jeopardy category. The U.S. government. Take a wager. Kristen and I are alone together. An opportunity to get to know each other. All right, Kristen, the U.S. government is the subject, and here is the clue for you. On August 15th, 1994, 59 years and 1 day after FDR signed the original act, Bill Clinton made this an independent agency. You have 30 seconds. Good luck. Kristen, we're going to start with you. You were in third place and in the lead. All right, let's take a look and see what you wrote down. You came up with what is the FDIC, and that is incorrect. The correct answer is the Social Security Administration. It's going to cost you how much money? $1,600 only? Mm-hmm. All right, a small victory today, $6,800, but a 2-day total.
Yeah, definitely awkwardness. It's funny because you get to the end, and usually there's at least 2 or 3 contestants who are left to do Final Jeopardy. And she's just, you know, like, oh, the champion's just like, I'm here, I have money, let's do this. But, you know, it's kind of anticlimactic because she's going to win anyway.
And she got the question wrong, which I think adds to a whole other level of awkward of it. It's like she did, I don't know, if she had the other contestants up there with her, she may not have even won. So it's just like, you lucked out, girl.
You definitely lucked out. I think it's just, it's crazy because like Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy is a show where like you have some awkward moments and you have people who are really good and then you have people who are not so good. So I will never forget, I think it was over winter break when they had that one contestant with the up talk, and that caused a lot of
Can you give us
controversy.
an example?
I don't want to embarrass her, but it's maybe something you should look up for yourself.
Okay, well, that's all we have for awkward moments.
But just stay tuned, because when we come back, we will have Rachel Anderson and Mary Desmond with Girls vs. Food.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow. I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to the Weekly What's Up. I'm Mary Desmond.
And I'm Rachel Anderson.
And this is Girls vs. Food.
The past 2 weeks, we have tried a unique appetizer and an unusual main dish where peanut butter took a savory twist. Today, we present to you the perfect combination of sweet and salty, potato chip cookies.
It's 2 delicious foods in 1. What's better than that?
I've honestly been kind of concerned about all of the other things we've cooked, but I'm super excited to try these.
Yeah, I'm really excited. To be honest, I think it's pretty hard to mess up desserts, and this dessert is like sweet and salty, and it's about to satisfy like every sort of dessert craving you've ever had, ever.
Potato chips, how my mouth just drips. Potato chips, how my mouth just drips. Crunch, crunch, I don't want no lunch. All I want is potato chips. Potato chips, how my mouth just drip. Potato chips, how my mouth just drip. Crunch, crunch, I don't want no lunch. All I want is potato chips. No matter where it is, you'll always find a bag around. Be in a bar, a picnic, even a baseball ground. Potato chips, how my mouth does drip. Potato chips, oh, drip, drip, drip. Crunch, crunch, I don't want no lunch. All I want is potato chips. Bang, bang, bang. Bag of potatoes. Crunchy, crunchy, potato chips, crunch, crunchy, crunchy. A crunch, 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 I don't want no lunch.
Well, the truth is about to come out because we have the cookies here with us.
They're here.
So we're
Look
going
at
to
this.
try them and see how it is.
It just smells wonderful. I can just smell the chocolate and the sugar and everything. Look how beautiful this cookie is. It's just beautifully, it's perfectly imperfect. Okay, let's split this thing. Like I don't know. There we go. All right, bud. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I got a chip. I got a chip in mine. So, like, initially the first bite's like, okay, this is a chocolate chip cookie. And then, like, you start chewing, and you kind of taste the potato chip that's been cooked and baked with cookie dough, and it's sort of, like, chewy now. It's like a chewy potato chip. It's a chewy, salty potato chip right in the heart of a sweet cookie.
It's weird because the potato chips are almost like oats. Like, they're kind of, like,
Yeah,
weird.
that is exactly what it tastes like.
Like, once you, like, bite that part, you, like, know that there's something, like, weird in there that's not in, like, a normal chocolate chip cookie. And it almost, like, tastes too, like, floury.
Mm-hmm.
I was hyped these up too much.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be better than what they are.
It definitely delivers. Like, it's good to fill you up. But, like, I wouldn't eat a whole bunch. Just because they're pretty floury and heavy.
Plain.
And it really does, it literally does taste like an oat. Like, when you're eating an oatmeal raisin cookie, and you like get a full-on oat. It's like what this tastes like, which is weird because it's a potato chip. And like these are just like regular like Lay's potato chips.
Yeah, I mean I say try it. I think that if you like instead of putting the potato chips like in the dough,
we should have waited and put that on top, so it would have been like the soft cookie and then like crunchy, salty potato chips on top.
I think that's
And that would've
exactly.
made it
I think that's
a lot
exactly where this recipe went wrong. Is like we cooked the potato chips in the dough, so like they got soggy and it's weird.
Yeah.
And it would have been much better if it was like crunchy.
I definitely recommend
afterwards.
trying it, but maybe do it differently now.
Yeah, it just tastes out of place. It just tastes out of place. Maybe try something different, like throw in something else, like grapes. I don't know. Something different. Wait, that's basically raisins. Whatever. I don't know. Well, that sums up this week's episode of Girls vs. Food. When we come back, we will have a new ingredient and a new recipe for you to try.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to the weekly What's Up. I'm Alec Holcomb.
And I'm Jacob Clore, and these are your viral videos. I absolutely love this viral video. YouTuber Melinda Kathleen Reese puts famous songs through several layers of Google Translate, a tool that doesn't always translate well. What ensues is absolute hilarity, especially when she translates Adele's Hello.
Hail to me. I question myself after all these years later. The view to appear to move to the top of all. They say the weather is supposed to cure you, but I do not like a lot of wounds. Hey, do you copy? I used to be, we have in a dream of the California when we were junior and complimentary. I have forgotten what the world is before you start chairs, ottoman, and your tioliule. There is a conflict between the United States and hundreds of thousands of kilometers.
I'm making perfect sense. What are you talking about?
Welcome to the party. This should be special billion. There is no need to say sorry to you, I'm done. But I most probably make house calls. Greetings from overseas. At least I'm possible to say. You say, excuse me, to violate your heart. Now I either trouble, we cover your two cents. Welcome to the party. This should be special billion.
Once again, these are, I don't know how I feel about this because it starts off great and the lyrics kind of lined up and I totally I can get behind it. And then it will just completely go out into left field. And I found it really funny. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's hilarious, especially when the layers of Google Translate are too many syllables for the actual song, so she has to like rush through them to like finish the line. It's funny if you like appreciate this kind of quirky, silly humor like I do. You'll like this.
I really like it too because it's recently become. I've never seen these videos before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've recently become popular with like kind of like monologues or movies or whatever.
Mhm.
But I've never seen someone do a song let alone make fun of the music video, let alone actually sing the song. And
She's talented.
I really enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? I think it's. I also have a song video.
A song, really?
Yeah, another song by our video. But we're gonna continue with the theme of songs with a particular clip from The Tonight Show. Singer Demi Lovato is playing a game with The Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon called Wheel of Musical Impressions. It's basically you impersonate a singer singing a popular song. Although Jimmy was really good, what really got the video over 9 million views was her impression of Christina Aguilera singing SpongeBob SquarePants. Check it out.
Okay, it's on you now.
Okay.
Christina Aguilera singing SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay, here we go, here we go.
To be honest, I never watch these videos for Jimmy Fallon's impressions. I always just watch them for the person he's interviewing. Because, I don't know, Jimmy Fallon's just not, I don't think he's really that talented in that world. And like when he has people like, there's that one with Christina Aguilera, and then there's one with Demi Lovato, and there's one, I think it's with...
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
There's Jamie Foxx.
There's a couple other actors that he has on there. And it's priceless. And I just really think it's funny because you don't think these actors are really good at like impersonating other people and other people in pulp culture, but then you have a person like Demi Lovato singing SpongeBob SquarePants with a Christina Aguilera voice. It's just totally out of left field.
I was completely like surprised. I was happy. Like, I don't know. It leaves an impression because that song is 17 years old.
Oh my gosh.
17 years old.
I'm
Everybody
old.
knows that song. And the fact that you can sing Christina Aguilera, like you could sound like Christina Aguilera, and that's like, you have to like take a record and you have to spin it and it has to keep skipping and skipping and skipping to sound like Christina Aguilera. Like, that's great. Like, if you could do that by yourself, props to you. And just, it was like childhood memories and really good singing, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can see why it got very popular.
Good job, Demi. Good job.
Keep it up. Well, that's all for Viral Videos this week.
But stay tuned because when we come back, we will have Kevin Stefani and Zayd Farah with TTG and the Basilisk.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to the Weekly What's Up. I'm Kevin Stefani.
I'm Zayd Farah.
And you're watching TTG and the Basilisk. Okay, Zuzu, hit us with the first of your double Ds, the Decent Drew.
This week's Decent Drew is quite reminiscent of the opening scene from Johnny English, where the farcical version of a British spy film opens with Agent English training among monks who are experts in the martial arts. Among the many ridiculous rigors they are put through is being sledgehammered between the legs repeatedly, to build their tolerance to being hit in such a sensitive area. However, one martial arts master from China's Henan province has taken such training to heart. Known as the man with the iron crotch, he has proven to withstand blows that would humble even the mightiest of martial champions, and for that he has earned a recognition of a decent achievement. My question is, how long do you practice being hit between the legs before you stop feeling it? Not something I want to try personally. What about you, Kevin?
I guess I'll put my sledgehammer away. But at the same time, is it one of those people who like trains himself not to feel pain at all?
I don't know. All I know is I don't know if he was a monk or something. Like they just center to a different place, in their consciousness where they don't feel physical injury.
So what is the purpose behind?
But he was just standing
sledgehammering yourself in the balls.
I mean, he's no longer weak in that area. It seems like.
But like, was that a problem for him before? Was he getting Jimmy tapped by all the other monks? Like. I just don't see where that training would really help you in a real world situation, unless somebody had a sledgehammer and tied you down and said, "All right, hold still."
Or if
which would be redundant because you're tied down.
Against an extremely short person,
But if they had a sledgehammer and they were that short, they probably wouldn't be able to wield it very quickly.
I think the audience gets it. I don't know if you get it. I think the audience understands why it might be practical.
Whoosh.
All right.
I don't know.
Okay, Cuckoo. What do you got?
In happy news this week, North Korea has finally proposed a peace treaty to end the Korean War. Yes, you may have thought that the Korean War was over, but there was only an armed truce in 1953. But to see that Korea is finally ready to move towards peace really warms my heart. However, the United States rejected this peace proposal because North Korea refused to address denuclearization in their proposal, an element that is key if they are to reach an agreement with America. North Korea is so cute, huh, Zaid?
Yeah, especially when they were tearing apart their Minister of Forestry for falling asleep with an anti-aircraft cannon in front of a stadium of people.
Was that not the cutest? It wasn't a stadium, but it was many thousands.
No, it was at a stadium.
Was it a stadium?
They held an event for it.
Wow. I thought it was...
Our viewers would remember that, though.
No, I didn't know it was a stadium. I reported the story.
Right.
I need to do more research on my background.
No, yeah, it was in a stadium.
But it was thousands of people. I do remember that.
I mean, I get it. Like, the U.S. can't. Denuclearization. If they were to agree to it now, they wouldn't have leverage later.
No,
So,
I agree with it too. It's just too bad,
Indecent.
I really want the Korean War to be over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it is. Kind of.
No, it's not.
Okay, TTG, it's time for the bad news. Get us started with the decently deficient.
As you may know, the stunning and ever-talented Kesha has been in quite a compromising situation for some time now. The pop star alleges that her producer at her record company, Sony, Dr. Luke, drugged and took advantage of her when she was 18 years old, and now that she has the strength to come out with the allegations, she wants nothing more to do with him or with Sony. The only problem is she signed a contract with Sony to release 6 more albums with them. Sony has offered her to work with another producer, but she has refused to do so, stating that she felt that Sony would not promote her albums with any other producer. When she went to court to try to cancel her contract altogether, a Manhattan Supreme Court judge recently denied her request, stating that she would have to fulfill her contractual obligations. At first, I wanted to give the decently deficient to the judge, but I realized it wasn't really his fault because it was the law. Then I wanted to give it to Sony, and probably a lot of it is their fault, but I wasn't entirely sure. The fault is probably Dr. Luke's, but he hasn't really been proven yet, so I'm not entirely sure about that. So I'm just going to give this week's decently deficient to George W. Bush because jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Oh.
Thoughts, Zaid?
Oh, man. All right. Well, yeah, I do have thoughts. So Kesha, I'm all for it. I mean, look, even if it isn't true, because there's doubt, then we should give her the benefit of doubt for such a serious
No, I agree with that, yeah.
But the thing is, then why would she not want to work with a different producer? Like Kesha.
Well, because he's the only one who really makes the hits. So if she works with somebody else...
What do you care? You're working, he's done this heinous thing to you. I mean, you shouldn't be working with him.
No, she doesn't want to work with him.
I mean, yeah, contractual law, the reason he upheld it was to maintain the precedent of contractual law, not for this case, because he has to think forwardly, right?
Right.
But because some people might use allegations to get out of that, but yeah, I think evidence needs to be looked at. But if it happened, she should find a different producer, and also the guy should be heavily prosecuted.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds easy to just say, she should just work with the other guy. But if she's not going to be making any money off of it, and it'd be better for her to work with some other company,
then it's between working with this dude who did this to you and getting money. That shouldn't be money shouldn't be that much of a factor for that situation. You know what I mean?
That sounds right to me.
Anyways,
I don't know. Well, Kesha's really struggling, but I hear you have heard of some more scumbaggery in the entertainment industry. Is that correct, Zaid?
I do, TTG.
Yes.
I really, really do. Actually, I'm unclear on who deserves it more, Kanye or Jay-Z.
Oh, very true.
And so this week's lack of decency actually goes to the both of them. Probably more Jay-Z. Kanye has changed his release plans for The Life of Pablo, making it now and forever, allegedly, available exclusively on Tidal. What is Tidal, some may ask? I asked, actually. Tidal is a high-fidelity music streaming subscription service, emphasis on high fidelity, for those who love hi-fi quality and can afford the headphones to hear such a difference. However, for the other 90% of music listeners, Tidal is an overpriced $20 per month racket that hijacks exclusivity of the best hip-hop artists. In the end, this will hurt the music industry, as most Kanye fans will turn to illicit means of obtaining the music files of Life of Pablo anyways, as they aren't about to shell $240 a year for hi-fi quality or in the name of consumer integrity. Half of these listeners will do this anyways, but this high-profile Tidal exclusive will encourage the other half to do so as well.
Very true. It's just unfair that Jay-Z had to get his little prodigy Kanye and say, hey,
Right.
you're helping me promote my thing.
Among others, by the way, not just
Put
Kanye.
his little puppet strings on Kanye.
Right.
Kanye, I thought you were better than that. I really enjoyed your album,
I
but
guess not Kanye 2020 then? Maybe it's just an
still Kanye 2020. Yeah.
well, that's just your opinion.
Yeah. Well, it's everyone's opinion because, everyone loves Kanye.
True, because he's Yeezus.
Yes. I thought that was obvious. Okay. Let's see what we have this week in important, unimportant topics. Jose, what do you think? Is this something that you're completely opposed to?
Right.
Completely?
Completely.
What about $1 million?
No, yeah, that's the point. Like, by being completely against cannibalism, and I'm sorry I have to say that out loud. you
Right.
know? Like, I feel like
Completely.
it's self-evident. As Yeezus is Kanye,
Right.
Yeah, I'd probably not eat human steak ever.
So what if you were going to die?
So this is
And
a
the
different question.
only
We're considering
meat-
the alternative question of
Yeah,
whether I
let's
would
consider
die.
the alternative question because you said no to the first one. So if you're going to die, if you don't eat this juicy, delicious human steak that has died of natural
Surprised
causes.
you know it's juicy and delicious.
Well, I'm
but
just assuming. It's
tastes
just
like
part of the
beef
question.
or chicken.
No, it tastes like human.
If I was about to die, I don't know.
Human's already dead.
If it would sustain me, and would I live?
You live.
Afterwards.
You live.
I would go back to society.
Very happy life.
Grow old with children.
Yes.
Then I might do it. I mean, I'm sure the person
You
would
might
want
do
me
it.
to it.
You would
It would be tough.
consider dying before eating the juicy, delicious human
If
steak.
I could restore my previous life and continue until old age,
There's no
yes, I
there
would
is
have-
no restoring your previous
I would
life.
eat the bare minimum required to survive.
What about the
and-
human minimum?
Yes, the human minimum. What about
Okay.
you? Would you eat it regardless for 10,000? I'm curious.
Okay, so if they die of natural causes
Yes.
and nobody knew about it,
Or rather, what's the bottom minimum amount of cash? Because I know you'd do it after a certain point.
right,
That you would eat human flesh.
right. I was thinking around the $10,000 amount. No, I mean, look, if they die of natural causes, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you.
Right. So, the
So
difference.
that's a yes. All right, that's on record.
Well, no. I mean, it's like a maybe. I
What
wouldn't.
about
I wouldn't.
15,000.
No, that's in the same general area.
50,000.
It's in the same general area.
100,000.
You're getting closer, but still. in the same-
$500,000.
That's where I'm starting to consider.
All right.
Knife.
On that note, let's end this week's episode.
Yes, it seems about time. Have a good week, everyone, and we'll see you next time on TTG and the Basilisk.
Make it less awkward because he said this.
I really like that snapshot I
If
took
any
of
of these
this.
are cute, please send them.
About
Oh, I
like
know.
Snoop Dogg. He's like, well, actually, guys
Well, in happy news this week, North Korea has finally proposed a treaty. A treaty. A treaty.
the infamous treaty.
Well, that sums up this week's episode of Girls vs. Food. When we come back, we will have a new ingredient and a new recipe for you to try. A crazy Well, that sums up this week's episode. Ah! Well, that sums up this week's episode. I can't. Looks at the camera. Well, that sums up this week's episode. I don't know why. Stop laughing. Because I was trying to make it funny. Stop, don't laugh.
Why would you take a bite?
Well, that sums up this week's episode of Girls vs. Food. When we come back, we will have a new ingredient and a new recipe for you to try. A crazy concoction.
All right, we just need to do it like.
Okay.
All right, 5, 4, 3,
Well.
2.
Somebody else go! So I can't do this. I feel like I'm in pressure. Okay.